I'm going to show you a bunch of tips and tricks that are going to help you a ton in Grow a Garden. If you're brand new to the game, buy strawberries every 5 minutes and plant them as close together as possible so that you can do this and then sell them over and over again so you can buy any seeds that come up until you make it to the mid-game. And once you're in the mid-game, you're going to primarily buy orange tulips, daffodil seeds, watermelon seeds, pumpkin seeds, and bamboo seeds because these ones are insanely OP for making hundreds of millions and even billions of shekels. The shovel is extremely important at the end of the mid-game because you can only have 800 plants at a time. So things like strawberries, tomatoes, and corn, you're going to want to get rid of those as well as blueberries later on because they're just going to make it so you can't have enough of the valuable plants. Pets are super helpful. Not all are created equal. Most pets are terrible, but one of the best pets you can get in the game is actually from common eggs, so you can get these pretty early on. One of the things that can hatch from that egg is a golden lab, which has a 10% chance every minute to give you a random seed. This is how I got my first beanstalk. You can get peppers, you can get cacao. It's really rare. They usually give you bad seeds, but if you're still early to mid-game, you definitely want at least 3 of these at all times, so that way you can get more of the good seeds faster. The gear shop is totally broken in this game for 2 different reasons. So there's one reason that's not that big of a deal. There's daily quests. Do not forget about these. These seed packs can have rare seeds. It's going to help you progress your game. The other reason, which is more important and gets you billions of shekels and even trillions, is the gear shop sells the sprinklers. So if you have the money, you're going to want to buy all the sprinklers every time you see them. And also, if you ever see lightning rods and you have millions of shekels, you're going to buy those every single time as well. And late game, you're going to want favorite tools, which I'll talk about that tip a little bit later on. Another tip is that the sprinklers stack. So you can put down a basic sprinkler, then you can put down an advanced sprinkler, and then you can put down a godly sprinkler, and you can even put in the master sprinkler, anything else you have like that, any pets that are applicable, which that's a whole different thing. And then once these are all down, then you're going to go to those things like the bamboo, the daffodils, the tulips, stuff like that. And then you're going to plant these as densely as possible around the sprinklers. And then you'll have a higher chance of getting mutations. You'll have a higher chance of getting gigantic bamboo like that and stuff like that. And so this is how you're going to want to plant things. And you're going to want to do this as dense as possible. And the reason you want to do this as dense as possible is because of the next tip, which is there are things in this game called meteor showers. And there are things called lightning storms. So there are special effects that can apply to your fruits and to your crops that can make them worth an insane amount of money. So this giant bamboo, it's worth a ton of money, but if I don't harvest it and I wait until eventually I see, until it's been hit by a meteor and it's been hit by lightning, which I can use the lightning rod in order to make that more likely to happen. Also, random tip here, the admin actually has enough control of the game that he can make stuff like this happen out of nowhere, which happened in the middle of me recording my video, and now I'm listening to music and dancing disco while the admin says things in the top. Bro, this guy says he's going to run chocolate rain when the rain stops. I should do the thing with the sprinklers I was just telling you about, but I should plant these mushrooms, which was going to get you to another tip here. If you get late game and you can afford them, buy mushrooms every time you see them. They're super rare, but they're worth 150,000. So if you do this like this and you happen to get a giant mushroom, just like I got this giant bamboo, and then you also get it to be lucky enough that it's golden, or if you get it celestial and you get it shocked and get it chocolate, as I'm apparently about to get stuff, it could easily be worth like 1 trillion shekels, or at least like tens of billions or hundreds of billions of shekels. Which, speaking of which, this is where the favorite tool comes into play that I was telling you about. So the favorite tool is a late game tool because it's really expensive. It's basically 1 million shekels per use, but it's totally worth it when you have something like, say, this bamboo, because I don't want to accidentally harvest this when clicking around on my screen. I'm looking at you phone users, okay? This is much more applicable to phone users because it's so much easier to accidentally harvest one of these things on a phone. But you want to favorite anything that's either gigantic or golden or something, anything that's worth a lot of money, so that way you don't accidentally harvest it until after it's celestial or shocked or something. Because like, say that bamboo, once it's celestial and shocked, it's gonna be worth like over 1 billion. So it's a 1 million investment, so I don't accidentally pick it up, and then it'll eventually pay off to be worth, you know, over 1 billion. And then when you want to unfavorite it, you just click it again with the favorite tool in your hand. It'll unfavorite, and then you can collect it again. But I'm going to go ahead and refavorite that because I actually do want to favorite that bamboo. So another tip is that when doing this, you want to spread this stuff out as much as you can, because when meteor showers and things like that happen, they hit all over the place unless you have like a star caller or something to control it a little bit. So you want like all of your garden to have stuff in it. So ideally when you do stuff like this, you want to do it in different clusters. So like, say I have a cluster here, I have a cluster over there, where that mango is all a cluster, and where these cactus are, I'll have a cluster, like at least 4, if not more of them. So that way, one of these clusters will get hit when there's a meteor shower, hopefully. And then at least one of the clusters is going to be worth a bunch of money then. So that's a good way to make sure that you get money sooner. Otherwise, you might have to wait for multiple meteor showers for your specific little garden patch of stuff to get hit. So definitely try to cover the whole garden with little clusters like this, and you'll make way more money. Another really important, this one's really important. So if you zoom in all the way like this, it can help a lot when you're trying to pick a specific crop. For some reason, first person just has better aiming and like selecting things than third person. So try that out if you're having trouble. On a phone, it's a little tricky. So mouse and keyboard, you just zoom in with the scroll wheel. On a phone, you have to, I think, put one thumb on the middle of the screen and hold, and then move the other one like up or down or left or right or something. I can't remember. It was something like that, but there's definitely a way to do it on phone. I just do it without thinking, but you definitely can. You got to hold in the middle or something. Also, the admin was not kidding. He actually did make it rain chocolate, and some of my bamboo is turning into chocolate bamboo now, so that's worth more money. That's super rare. I've never actually seen chocolate rain until the admin came on and started doing this stuff. Another tip is, I don't know how it's going to work for later events, but like the when I made this video, there was the moonlit event going on where at night, so at the top of every hour, random plants will become moonlit, and you turn them in over there at the Wise Owl for rewards and a bunch of like awesome stuff. Well, one thing that if they do stuff like that again, be aware of like manipulation. So like what you could do, for example, is when it's nighttime, I could harvest all my lower stuff like apples and peaches, things that aren't worth as much, or just delete them if you have too many of them, like blueberries and stuff. Only leave the valuable stuff, so that way when something becomes moonlit, it'll only have the option of being something valuable. And then you'll have like beanstalks that are moonlit, and you'll have cacao seeds that are moonlit. And also, at least for that event, I don't know how it'll be for future ones, but for that event, if they were celestial, if they were shocked, and they were moonlit, that actually gave you more lunar points. Like I had a single one give me like 15 one time. So that's something you can do to control events a little bit in the future, depending on how they work. So keep in mind, if there are like random mutations of things, you can control what gets mutated for an event by removing all the low-level stuff and then only having valuable stuff mutate if it's relevant again. Another important thing is at the pet shop, you talk to this guy, there's an option for show me pet info. And in here, you can turn in pets to increase the number of pets that you can have. Now, you can increase the number of eggs. I personally don't recommend that unless you're spending Robux, because then you aren't going to get enough good eggs to hatch anyway. So what you're going to want to focus on is trading in pets for extra pet equip slots. Now, the first one, you need to turn in a pet that's level 20, then a pet that's level 30, and also another tip here, I talked about before, it is raining right now with lightning, so I can go to these things now, and what I told you earlier, there's lightning rods. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put one in there. I can't even see in there, but I can try. I'm going to try to see if I can take a lightning rod. I should have put it in there before I put all this stuff down. So let me see here. The idea is that, oh my God, I'm stuck on every bamboo. The idea is that if you can get a lightning rod in there or near there at least, so there's one that's all right. And I'm going to do the same thing. I could do the same thing over here. I'm actually not going to do the same thing over here. I don't really care enough, but you put out a lightning rod in the center before you plant everything. I kind of didn't do it right. I did it after. Then during one of these storms, they're really rare. These storms are pretty rare. But when they happen, it will redirect one of the lightning bolts to this area right here. So at least one big chunk of this cluster will get hit by lightning for sure. That'll more than pay off the lightning rod, because the lightning rod costs, I think, was like 20 million or 10 million or a few million, whatever it was. But when that lightning rod gets hit there, that's going to generate like 1 billion or 500 million shekels worth of value. Because of all that stuff, it's worth so much money. So they finally got hit by lightning thanks to the lightning rod. Just to show you, this is a small mushroom. See how big those mushrooms are in there? So this one's really small. Let me show you how much this one shocked mushroom is worth. So this is like the smallest mushroom you can grow. I want to see how much this is worth. So this thing is worth 15 million just by being shocked. The mushroom that's shocked worth 15 million. That's it. Smallest mushroom possible. No mutations. So this one mushroom already paid off that lightning rod, and that doesn't even include the other stuff that I got hit by lightning, including a rainbow bamboo. That'll probably be worth a bunch. Another tip is it's really important to work on pets once you have money. Like, really, you want to focus on that. So at this point, I mean, once you have much money, you just buy whatever and whenever you want. But one thing you should be trying to do, as soon as you have millions of shekels, you should be looking every 30 minutes for the pet eggs. So every 30 minutes it refreshes. So at like, you know, the top of an hour and then halfway through, whatever, it will refresh the eggs. You want to buy every rare, especially legendary, mythical, and bug eggs that you see, whatever else they add in the future, because there are a lot of rare pets that are super good. Some of them are better than others. Like in the bug eggs, the rarest thing is a dragonfly. That's the best one in the game. It turns random crops to gold, like golden crops, which makes them worth 50 times more. Insane value there. There's, I think it was the fox, and he steals seeds from other players' gardens, which is a great way for you to like randomly get like beanstalk seeds and cacao seeds and different things. So there are a lot of pets that have a lot of valuable stuff. During the event, I was able to get the oh, actually I picked them up. Did not mean to pick them up. The blood owl, and this guy is really crazy. I meant to put him down and click view. What it does, this one in particular, will make it so all the other pets gain additional XP every second, so it levels up my pets faster, which is really nice when you're trying to get the upgraded pet slots, because in order to upgrade your pets, I mean, here's another tip about how pets work, you have to feed them every 12 hours or more often if you want, and they just gain experience by just being alive and having time pass. And so it's like a time-based thing to get the upgrades. So having any of the owls or anything that makes them level up faster is going to be nice. Then you can level them up faster, turn them in, get more pets, then have like an owl or two plus a bunch of like, you know, things that you just want to throw away. Which leads me to another tip, which is important. You want to start off by always having like most of your pets just be like the golden labs or just dog or bunny or something terrible. So that way you don't feel bad when you have to turn them in at the egg shop in order to upgrade your number of pets you can have. It's going to feel real bad if you're like the only things you've leveled are the blood owl, a fox, a raccoon, and then it's like, well, you'll never be able to get more pets because you don't want to give those up. So you're going to want to level at least 1 or 2 really bad pets at a time, so that way you can just turn those in when their age is high enough so you can get more pet slots. Another tip is that some plants are kind of terrible to work with. So grapes are worth a ton of money, and you definitely should get them whenever you can. But just be aware they're awful because like you can't even get to the top without having something else to climb on, like bamboo or a beanstalk. Beanstalks are hit or miss. They can often be climbed, but sometimes you get bamboo that beanstalks that grow in a way that just are unclimbable. So they're all worth it, really, if you have the money and you can get them whenever you see them. But just know that some of them are just terrible. Like some peppers are great. They're all easy to grab right here. Cacao is a similar thing, and it's worth a ton. But really, the main thing for making money is going to be these like crop clusters that I showed you, though, really like that. Until you get to the late game where you just have 10s, 20s, 30s of all these different super rare things. Once you hit that point, then you don't need to be doing this stuff with bamboo and mushrooms and daffodils and tulips and things anymore. Pumpkins and watermelons can also be used in these things. Another tip is that coconuts are terrible. So you can get them if you want in the mid game, but they're not really good. I keep one just so I have one, but they grow at different heights. It's really hard to harvest them. You need bamboo in order to climb up on them in order to even get to them. And if they're at varying heights, I mean, you could sit there and have like 100 coconuts that you need to harvest, and it could take you like 5 minutes to get them all harvested sometimes. They are one of the worst, and they're not worth that much money. So like I really recommend against even dealing with the coconuts. It's up to you though. And if you get a giant one, you're just out of luck. Like, harvesting is basically impossible. Another tip is that you can go to another person's garden and you can, like, steal their fruit if you want to spend money. I've never done it. I don't really care to do it because I don't want to spend money. I just don't like the idea of stealing. But if you're, like, brand new and you just want to get a jump start, you can go to one of people like me who has some super garden, and you can go to one of their super valuable things they have out, the electrified celestial bamboo or something, and you could just pay 37 Robux and then take it and then sell it. And then bam, you've got like, 100 million shekels, and then you could just play if you're into that. I don't like playing that way, but it is something you can do. But that's it for this video. I hope that helped you out, guys. That was all these tips and tricks that I know. That was as many as I could think of. And I'm sure there'll be more tips and tricks in the future as more updates come out and there are more features added to the game. But hopefully those were able to help you out and point you in a good direction. Hopefully now you have a better idea of some of the cool things you can do in Grow a Garden.